Now we are going to learn the steps in risk management in topic 4. This is very important in this e-learning module. Step 1. Preparation. Form team. Gather relevant information. Identify tasks of each process. Step 2. Risk assessment, hazard identification, risk evaluation, risk control. Step 3. Implementation, obtain employer, management approval, communicate the hazards and their controls, implement control measures, audit, regular inspections. Steps in risk management in topic 4 is continued. Step 4. Record keeping. Must be available upon request. Keep for at least 3 years. Step 5. Review. Review RA on a regular basis. Now it is a question time. It is simple question and you have just learned about it. Please answer the question below. Which is a correct statement? A. We must do risk assessment. B. We must do risk management. Now we're going to learn about steps in risk management in detail. Step 1. Preparation. Form team. The team leader should be trained in risk assessment. The team may include management, engineers, technical staff, supervisors, production operators, maintenance staff, safety staff and experienced workers. Identify tasks of each process. Split the major work into small steps. Identify all the steps in the work. Identify the sub-activities of each work activity. Gather relevant information. Nature of the work. Location of the work. List of tools, machinery and chemicals used. Records of past incidents and accidents. WSH inspection records and audit reports. Manufacturer's Instruction Manual, SDS. Relevant legislation, codes of practice and SS. Details of existing risk control measures. Safe work procedures, copies of previous RA. Now we're going to discuss about how RA teams can gather information when doing RAB. RA teams to gather information on workplace layout plan. List of work activities in the process. Records of past incidents, accidents, and occupational diseases. Relevant legislation, standards, CP, or specifications. Observations and interviews. Details of existing risk controls. Workplace hygiene monitoring, exposure assessment for workplace health hazards. Workplace medical monitoring, medical examinations for exposure to workplace health hazards. Feedback from employees, clients, suppliers, or other stakeholders. SWPs. Medical condition of employees. Below is the sample inventory of work activities form. It is prepared for activity-based risk assessment. Major task, main work. Split the major work into job sequence of steps, activities. Now we're going to learn about the steps in risk assessment. 3 steps in risk assessment. Risk assessment. Hazard identification. Working behind the reversing machinery risk evaluation. Hit by the machine risk control. Appoint a banksman to control the movement and ensure no one working close to the moving equipment. Can we discuss about a key word in RA preparation? What is a hazard? Below is the meaning of the word hazard. Hazard is anything, any source or any situation with the potential to cause bodily injury or ill health. The image below shows the major hazards in the workplaces. Understanding the 6 major types of workplace hazards. Now we discuss about classification of WSH hazards. Physical hazards, e.g., noise, fire, temperature, ergonomics, vibration, radiation, etc. Mechanical hazards, e.g., moving parts, rotating parts, shear points, pinch points, crush points, etc. Electrical hazards, e.g., voltage, electric currents, static charge, earth faults, electric shock, magnetic field, etc. Chemical hazards, e.g., flammables, toxics, reactive materials including acids and bases, corrosive chemicals, etc. Classification of WSH hazards continued. Ergonomic hazards, e.g., manual handling, improper task or workplace design, etc. Biological hazards, e.g., bacteria, fungi, bloodborne pathogens, viruses, microbial toxins, etc. Fire hazards, e.g., poor housekeeping, obstructions, flammable materials, etc. Psychosocial, e.g., employees' poor mental well-being, stress, fatigue. Personal health risk factors, individual characteristics and fitness, e.g., eyesight, hearing, lack of physical conditioning to carry out heavy lifting or manual work. It is question time again. I hope you answered the first question correctly. Think and answer. Which is the most important step in risk assessment? A. Hazards identification. B. Risk evaluation. C. Risk control. Now we discuss about the meaning of risk, likelihood and severity. Risk. Risk is the chance or probability that a person will be harmed or experience an adverse health effect if exposed to a hazard. Likelihood. Probability or frequency of such an event occurring, frequency or chances of happening. Severity. Degree or extent of injury or harm caused by the event, or as a result of that event, how big the accident, injury. So we can establish the risk level based on severity and likelihood. Steps in risk management in Topic 4 is continued. Topic 4. Steps in risk management. Risk evaluation. Risk evaluation, prioritize risk level. Severity, degree of harm. Likelihood, frequency of event. Severity, degree of harm. Catastrophic, major, moderate, minor, negligible. Likelihood, frequency of event, almost certain, frequent, occasional, remote, rare. The table below is called risk matrix. Using the severity and likelihood we learned previously, we can find the risk level of the hazard. Classification of risk, risk matrix. Risk matrix with numbers is easier to find the risk level by using the severity and likelihood. Classification of risk, risk matrix. After finding the risk level of a hazard using the risk matrix, now we check whether the risk level is acceptable or not acceptable.